everyone, and welcome to another episode of Pokemon Pharaohs. This should be number 13. Let's make sure that sounds off. If you want to play this game, go to EeveeExpo.com, type in Pokemon Pharaohs, and it'll take you where you need to go. Or go to the link in the description, just remove the space before .com or the space before .gg after you put it into your URL bar at the top, and then it'll take you where you need to go for the Google Drive or the Discord. Or just watch that first video, that'll also do it for you. But, as we've been doing since we're in this area, we're going to start off with a nice little story. Today is creation. In the beginning, there were 6 entities of life: space, reality, power, mind, time, and soul. Each with the power to end life as we know it. Space, there was Palkia, the Great Destroyer. Reality, there was Giratina, the Shadow King. Power, there was Arceus, the Plated God. Mind, there was Rayquaza, the Emerald Blessing. Time was Dialga, the Infinite Oblivion. And soul was Victini, the Dawn of Hope. These creatures gave life to all that is. Man and Pokemon can all stem their genetics back to one of these 6 entities. Any of these entities have the power to reshape the world as we know it. It seems some pages have been removed, and they're over here in the restricted section. Creation Part 2. Upon obtaining these 6 beings, one is said to have control over all that is. They can control any segment of life they choose. They can live at all points in time at once. They can live in all places of space at any time. All of life's knowledge is theirs for the taking. Unstoppable power, as well as the ability to rally those to your cause, whether they follow that cause or not. They can live endless lives. One would have to undo the gods themselves and defeat them in battle to undo the damage this wielder has done. But then there is the Shadow King. From what we can tell, it is the base of all reality. It has its own plane of existence. If someone manages to gain control of that god, there may be nothing anyone can do to stop them. There was only one who ever looked through the door of reality, but his story is a whole new tale. I always love making stories like that. Okay, so today we are going to take another shot at that gym leader. And yes, that story is 100% reality stones from Marvel. Mixed in with some Kang, I guess. But you can catch all of those Pokemon in this game, so it's fun. Alright, last time our Magmars just straight up owned his Zoroark? Huh. Oh man, wrong way. So we're gonna start off with him. And then our Houndoom was able to beat his Houndoom. So we're gonna keep trying to knock out a couple of these here and there. Still don't know how I'm dealing with that, but we are starting to way out level it. Because I'm trying to just finish this. Bang. Bang. Okay. Switch to our Houndoom. Because ours has Flash Fire. Will howl once. And that's what we're about to do back. Okay, that should be 2 down. Now we're in uncharted territory. I feel like this is a trick and Weavile is going to have a fighting move. So we're going to toss in the Babysitter. Sharpedo. I feel like it's just gonna Ice Fang its way through this thing, but We gotta go for it. Alright, now here comes the ace. Which we should be good for if it's just tanking, as long as it doesn't have a crazy version of it. I feel like Ultra Boy can out-tank it just with its extra abilities. As long as it's max potions and not full restores. Oh. One of them used Mist, or did I just make the battlefield Mist? Okay, okay. Where would the content be if we just swept them under the rug, you know? Okay. If you're already using... Wow, we low rolled on that one. That's gross. Hopefully that was your only potion. Got it. Okay. Alright, Gym Leader 3. Down. What an incredible battle! You know, when we were in the challenge, your father and I roamed the region together. It was truly a pleasure to battle you. Give your father my regards if you see him. On a side note, if you want to train a bit before Yumrek Tunnel, go teach those gear golems a lesson. I still don't think you're quite ready to fight them all after beating this, but... Oh, I didn't put a teleporter to the back here. I'll have to put that teleporter to the back there. Oh, it's just a straight line down. Holy crap. I think we're good to go to the tunnel. Should be able to knock out a bigger chunk of this today. There's that 1% encounter, one of the two of them. Because I always hated whenever you were playing through a game and you couldn't get that golem or that crow. Well, you could get a Crobat, but that Alakazam, you know, all of the trade Evos. Made them so that they were catchable. Just straight up. Or, you know, level 50 evolves or level 45 evolutions, depending on what the rest of their line does. I think Alakazam evolves at like 39 just because you get Psychic at 40. No, because Jabber gets it at 42. Probably is at like 45-ish. Beat the Flower Girl, beat him, beat her. Alright, so we are most of the way through this game. Those items down in the bottom, don't worry about those items. You won't be able to get those items for a long time. Those are blocked by level 70 trainers down there. Why have I not popped a repel? That is the real question here. Okay, so if you see signs like this, always read them. To the north, more powerful trainers level 70 plus to the south. If you are playing in Nuzlocke, grab this item if you want to, but don't go to him. That's level 70. That is death. That is death to team if you are not prepared for it. And they do not get easier as the battle goes along. Dude's just over here training and looking for golems. Okay, so we are finally through here. And there are still, I think, 3 more stories down there if you ever want to go read them in your own game. We might go back and read them at the beginning. No, I can't go back inside yet. She was right there. She was beautiful. This Pokemon made of ice. She stood there gracefully, dancing in the blizzard. I must catch her or die trying. Okay, so we get an encounter here. Yeesh. I don't even know who I would be using for this. I wish these 2 were switched. I feel like this should be in the back, or that should be further in the back, maybe. Okay, so I think the Will-O-Wisp route is probably best. Let's go check and see what items we get first. Oh. Oh! Oh man, why haven't you evolved that yet, you fool? Jeez. Okay, well, goodbye. It's okay, he didn't throw a pursuit at me. I didn't even think about that. Oh, he's knockoff, not pursuit. Never mind. Giving them that nickel and dime package. Ooh, Waterstone. So you're trying to get that Articuno. Nice. Oh, I didn't put anything up here for him. Oh, it's because it's the people that talk about it. Never mind. I love giving people like ways of saying, yeah, I'm eating a Pidgey today. Pidgey wings, man, they're so tasty. Alright, I don't think there's any balls here. Yeah, none of you are the ball salesman. Okay, let's get that encounter. Beartic, huh? That's interesting. I remember using one of these whenever it first came out. And then I didn't like the way the sprite looked. I just didn't like the artwork in that game at all. I love the idea of what they did, where it was just all new region, all new Pokemon. I really did like it. I just didn't like the artwork. It just felt so slow in certain points. Like, I remember if I got past the electric gym, the rest of the game was great. But it was like, there was a 2 or 3 gym area there where it's just, I think it's when you're in the big city, plus the desert, plus the electric Ferris wheel area. Something about that just killed everything for me in that game. Where, like, if you could have multiple saves, I would have just saved a spot there with each of the starters that just made it to where I never had to go back to that spot ever again. Do you think my grandson would like this? The red one is pretty swell, but the yellow ones are pretty neat. He asked for a blue bike, but they don't have blue. I have no idea who that old man is, but he thinks I'm his grandson. I want to let him pay for a bike, but how do I explain to my mom that I have a new bike? Oh well, if she didn't take away my old one, I wouldn't be here now, would I? This kid's gonna go places. Are you here to buy a bike? Wait, you're a challenger, right? Sorry, I'm not giving you a bike. You would have to earn one from our boss at Route 103. Oh boy. Oh boy. Okay, that's not a high level. We're good here. Right, so it can hit me and I can't hit it. You know, that actually explains why I used to use ghost or flying against ghost types. Huh. It's good to know. It's weird that 12-year-old me was better at Pokemon than 32-year-old me. Almost 32. Balls. Do you enjoy this game? Have you been liking it? Do you want to play it without the horrible commentator over the top? Well, check out Pokemon Pharaohs. There is a link in that description down there. If you're on YouTube, it'll take you where you need to go. Remove that space4.com and space4.gg and when you put it up here in this bar, and you are perfect. It will be amazing. I want to know if you like the game, if you don't like the game, what I could do better for the game. Just please don't say, you could use more events, because, oh my god, I know. I'm working on a post-game to add more to the story of why your father is such a dick, but that takes time. Hi. I think you're a seal, if I remember correctly. I feel like you don't want to talk to this guy. This guy, I'm pretty sure, is going to have a level 43 Mammoth or some crap. I remember his Mammoth is actually tougher than the gym leaders. It's just his only Pokemon. Ooh, quick ball. Oh, the weather outside is frightful, but the battles are so delightful. Even if we lose the 16th or so, let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. I can't even see the TV anymore, but it doesn't matter. My darling Gloria enjoys it as long as she is happy. I'm happy. He grins a toothless smile. This is my dear Bernie's favorite program. I don't enjoy it much, but I would do anything for this old fool. She smiles endearingly. I want that kind of marriage. Where they don't care. They're just happy to be there. Ooh, Soothbell. I am totally robbing this couple, though. Wonder if they're still sweet and nice after that. God, I wish I was better at those switches, because if you took all these items and they randomly just started hating each other, this would actually be hilarious. And then him just talking about if you take the item, something happens. Making a double bed like this is a lot harder than you could even imagine. It took a while to make that look so good. Or like natural. Yo. I never really said this. If we encounter the shinies that are 1 in 100, we're definitely going to absorb a shiny and catch it, just because. It might hit the team, it might not hit the team. I don't really know. But if we do encounter shinies, they kind of break the rules in my mind. Okay, so you don't care. Fossilized Kabuto. Huh. Can I not walk in front of that tile? I will have to fix that. By the way, if you ever actually look at the people in these names, they're very similar to actual people who are real people. Or Indiana Ford, who is Indiana Jones, just Harrison Ford. Suction Cups, Frozen Sebastian. Jules Nemo. Ooh, Pokeverse. That rocket was the first to ever bring moonstones back to our planet. Array 27 Quad Model 4. Creator, Nikola Musk. Yeah. Jonathan O'Connell, that's definitely from... Oh man, The Mummy. Grant Neal, that's totally Velociraptor from Jurassic Park. Look, all I'm saying is these fossils don't mean squats no more. These Pokemon has been done released into the wilds already. It's so hard for me to actually say that shit out loud. Oh my god. It's supposed to be that Italianish, New Yorkish kind of everything ends in an S plural when it shouldn't be kind of thing. There once was a beautiful little girl, full of wonder and curiosity. Just like all children, she had dreams of becoming the very best, just like the song says. Though, if I'm being honest, she wasn't at all like the others. At night, I would have to go out looking for her. When I found her, she would always ask, "Why are you out at night?" I would always ask her, "Why are you out at night, child?" "It's far too dangerous for you," she would respond. "The strongest Pokemon always come out at night. If they're here, I am here." It was at that day I knew she was destined for greatness. Nothing will stop her, not even the Pharaoh. Then one night she was standing in front of the shrine, by the cave. The ancient ones must have gave their blessing. I couldn't explain it. She was blue. God, that is one of my favorite robot chicken things. He can't be human. He's blue. She walked in the door and said, "Destiny has chosen me to guide us in a new future. Goodbye, grandfather." That was the last time I saw my darling Gladys. I wish I could see her again someday, but I know she's doing well. Should you cross paths with her, I pray you can survive the storm. Good luck in the pyramid, he says with a crooked smile and a look of terror in his eyes. Ooh, here's a little. Welcome back to the Matt Dickafee podcast. Today we just want to talk about how wonderful the Pharaoh is, isn't he, guys? You can hear it. Oh, I need to put an H there. You can hear his castmates agree with him. Seriously though, Pokemon prices are down, housing costs are down, nothing sketchy at all going on with him. This guy's a true winner. Those are all part of the post game. We need to add that H in there. Wow, after we beat this gym, we're officially caught back up to where the other playlist was. It only took like 4 more episodes. But that just shows we actually had to work a lot harder with the Pokemon we had. Because I didn't pick like one of my favorite teams to run through the game with. And also I did add a few more events and stuff in, so let's go knock out a trainer. Right, this whole gym is going to be an entire episode. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back and read a story or two. If you don't want to read any more stories, then just go check out Pokemon Pharaohs, play the game yourself. Links in the description. RemoveSpace4.com or .gg. It'll be you'll like the game, I think. It's nothing incredible, but it's definitely a good, challenging game that isn't just hard to be hard. But for the rest of this episode, for 5 minutes, we're just going to read the last 3 stories. That way we don't come back here anymore. And it's been a while since I personally have read them, and I like what I did with a lot of them. The first pharaoh... Hang on, I gotta take a deep breath. When the one known as Palkia, the Great Destroyer, came to our shores, we had no idea how to react. The city of Delico was destroyed, sunk to the bottom of the ocean. All that remains is a sandbank hanging off the cliffs. Palkia came in a flash. She emitted a loud shrill. Glass all over the region shattered, buildings crushed by their own foundations. Pink lightning bolts and explosions could be seen across the region. Bursts of energy would push people through gates to never be seen again. But Delico, it was gone. No one could comprehend where this beast came from. Thankfully, there were brave trainers who confronted the beast, but one by one, they all fell. Nothing could stop Palkia. It literally controlled space. If it ever felt threatened, it could just teleport away. We were facing a catastrophe of dire consequences. Palkia could destroy life on a scale hitherto undreamt of. Shout out to Dr. Strange. Now trainers were flooding to their graves. Man and Pokemon alike sent their champions to deal with Palkia, and all were soundly defeated. Just when all hope seemed lost, a mere child rose to fight Palkia. Shockingly, this child succeeded where all others failed. This child, Veronica, conquered the beast. She lured it into her trap, surrounding it by boulders. Veronica learned that when Palkia couldn't move, she also couldn't fire her spatial rend, much less teleport away into safety. It was genius. As Palkia remained in place, Veronica fired upon Palkia with her Dragonite's Dragon Pulse. After hours of chaos, Palkia fell. Knowing that Palkia could never truly be defeated, the child Veronica instructed the townsfolk to cover Palkia with large boulders, immobilizing her. Now that the beast had been contained, the people didn't know how to restart. Their region had been defiled, their shores had been destroyed. The royal family had been defeated by Palkia. Any trainers of importance had been defeated for years. Yet, here we had this perfect child. Little Veronica had triumphed where all others had failed. She even solved the problem for the foreseeable future. Now as a teenager, she traveled city to city, rebuilding them one by one. The people knew who their leader was. There was no other choice. They named her their prince until she later took the title of the Pharaoh. Veronica lived a long and dangerous life. When she passed, her children built the pyramid for her. They laid decree that the pyramid was not for the Pharaoh, but for any true hero that our land encovers. Any person, Pokemon who saves our region to this day. Any person or Pokemon that has saved our region will be put there. I must have double clicked the space, my bad. To this day, only one other person has been buried in the Great Pyramid, but that is a tale for another time. Damn, that was 4 minutes of a story right there. I think these are both longer ones too. We're gonna get a good save. Whew. The challenge origin. Pharaoh Archimedes, grandson of the hero Pharaoh Veronica and his wife, were unable to produce children, thus putting an end to the royal line. Pharaoh Archimedes knew that without an heir, the region would soon fall to chaos. What would the people do when there isn't a clear leader to follow? One day, Pharaoh Archimedes, holy shiza, and his wife Beatrice were having dinner, watching the night's entertainment of 6v6 battles, and it hit him. The leader who saved the region was the greatest and smartest trainer around. Why shouldn't the next leader of the region be the same? But why stop there? Why would one bloodline get to rule for all time? He decided there would be a competition to see who would rule for 40 years. During the 40th year, there will be a competition to see who will be the leader, and for the next 40, and so on and so forth. The idea was perfect, but who? How? As he scoured the maps trying to figure out the ideal way, he noticed something interesting. There were 17 cities and 17 types of Pokemon. The majority of the cities had already had affinities to certain types due to the Pokemon that surrounds them. Pharaoh Archimedes held a meeting with the leaders of the 17 cities, and they decided the rules. There would be a youth from each city selected. that youth would be released on his journey to become the next pharaoh and claim their spot atop the pyramid. It was determined that each trainer may only use Pokemon of their own type. If they are fire, they may use fire fighting types because it is fire. It was also determined that if the current pharaoh has a child under the age of 15, then that child may enter the challenge and use any Pokemon. During the challenge, all trainers must travel to all towns to defeat all gyms along the way. Then any challenger who obtains all 17 badges may enter the pyramid. Once inside the pyramid, they must travel throughout the labyrinth and defeat all other challengers they encounter along the way. It doesn't stop there. Once the last remaining trainer makes it to the top of the pyramid, they must battle the pharaoh and the trainers he deems worthy. There you have it, the origin of the challenge. Edit: a few hundred years later after this passage was written, the fairy type was discovered. However, the system was working so well, why change it? And that is where we are going to end it today. Next time we will finish this one last story, probably find the radio in this town, and then probably go from there. But I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Thank you all so much for watching. Please download the game. I think a lot of people would probably like it if they actually play it. Goodbye.